Anytime. I'm just letting me text on.
He's only been 3 years.
Make sure you heard it. No, I had 6 months. That's what I heard.
All right, it's 7 o'clock, May 25th. This is the Town of Farmington Town Board agenda. We have no public hearings tonight. I'll call the meeting to order for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Ron, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Yeah, I know.
I just guessed.
He's close to
Next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes for our May 11th, 2021 meeting. So,
Second.
motion a second. Any comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
All right, privilege of the floor or public concerns? We don't have anybody here in the audience in the room. Is there anybody online that would like privilege of the floor or public concerns or comments? Anybody public concerns or comments that's online? Hearing none, report to standing committees, Public Works.
Yeah, we got normal time here this morning. With the water on the water and sewer side, down at the treatment plant, they've been doing some quarterly maintenance on the hydrodyne number 1, and also working on some repairs on hydrodyne number 2. They've been replacing a battery backup unit in the chemical building, and also going through looking at replacing about a quarter of the battery backups throughout the whole plant. Also just been working on some items brought up in a fire inspection that was done down there. Gathered some data from some flow meters in the sewer system that we have out in the field, over on Lucas Road and also East Victor Road. And working on some quotes for a new electrical service for a new E1 pump, PS31. They've been working on removing the old fuel tanks now that all the fueling is being done at the highway garage. They had to do some soil testing, but everything seems to be looking good. Just waiting on the final okay from the DEC to have the contractor fill the tanks in place. Yerkes Road, we've talked about that for several meetings. They are done over there. Blacktop has been replaced, and the site, all the restoration has been done. They've been working on lawn restorations throughout the whole water district. Still have some to do, but making progress as time permits. Water main on 96 Mertensia, that project is complete, except for just some sidewalk restorations that need to be done. And they're working on getting some quotes for some tree and stump removal on Mertensia Road. He's got a couple resolutions that we can discuss as they come up in the agenda tonight. Highway and parks, ongoing equipment maintenance, obviously mowing, roadside mowers are out, parks mowers are out, just trying to keep up with the grass. They did get the new swings installed at both Pumpkin Hook Park and Farmbrook Park. I've been getting soccer fields lined, getting ready for soccer to start at Pumpkin Hook and Mertensia Parks. Did some work on the baseball fields at the town in Mertensia, put about 25 ton of infield mix on those fields. Auburn Trail, that's been mowed and trimmed. Weeding gardens here at the town hall, and also rolled fields at Pumpkin Hook and Town Park. He's got one new resolution for just adding an additional stop sign on Redfield and Commercial Drive. That's about it.
Thanks, Steve. Town operations?
Town operations up this morning. We got a couple of resolutions to discuss as they come up, letters of credit. We'll discuss the one resolution for a electric vehicle outlet charging station for the new Beaver Creek Park. But we also are hoping that there is some I think state and federal grant money available to us. So once we put in a charging station, we should be able to apply and are eligible to receive a good amount of that back in grant money. This should offset probably 2/3 of the cost of that. As far as Beaver Creek Park goes, continuing to work on the pavilion, making the building restroom, getting the grass and the site work done for the fields, working on a tennis courts, basketball courts. Delaware River project, the judge has granted an extension until June 21st for both sides to file any replies and responses they have. On our side, we continue to work with Delaware River on coming up with the decommissioning plan and the surety that is required as part of our solar law. Hathaway's Corners, a lot of work going on over there. The community building is under construction. Let's guess. It's the right one that I thought I saw. I guess we're pretty close to having the building done. I don't know how it's on the inside, but the outside it looks like it's almost complete. They have 7 townhouse buildings under construction, 3 single-family dwellings. They have one of the model home, and they submitted 9 additional building plans for the townhouses, so they can get working on that. So we're certainly moving along on that project. Town comprehensive plan is going to be a public information meeting scheduled either late June or early July to inform them of the work that's been done and to get some public comments. Continue to work on zoning code amendments, and some of that's waiting on the solar regulations before we finalize the draft on that. So I got to see what happens with the court case. Working on the zoning map and the street map amendments, and then also doing the traffic study at 96 and 332 with the state. I'm trying to make sure we can incorporate that in our guidance as well. And there's some grant money that from the DEC that should be available to look at the Black Creek watershed, make sure that drainage. There's no drainage issues for the creek, and make sure it's not causing any water problems up or downstream through here. I think that goes over into Manchester. I'm not sure other towns might be involved, but it could probably at least a couple, at least 1 or 2 other towns in Ontario County, 5 other towns in Ontario County involved in that creek. So I said it doesn't really do us much good to do it on our own if nobody around us does it, but we get everyone involved and take a look at that creek. Everything else we posted.
All right, thanks, Dave. Reports of town officials, supervisor, mortgage revenue. I talked there last week. We haven't got the check yet, but it's in the mail. Should be coming from the county in the next week or 2. Just a reminder, some dates. Our town board meetings in June are Tuesday, June 8th, and Wednesday, the 23rd. I still would like to hold the public works and town ops on that Tuesday, the 22nd. The town hall will be open. It's primary day. We don't have any primaries here. Teamsters Union contract discussion at a meeting June 15th with them. The 2022 budget guidance will be out June 18th, and the department worksheets will be provided to the departments on July 7th. And then on the Ontario County level, the Public Works and Ways and Means Committee are already looking at the county's 7-year capital project list. First round of review, and over the next 3 weeks they'll be honing in and producing a final list at the county level. Ron, I saw where a municipality went and was requesting a grant for ordering water meters, and supposedly there was money available for conservation of water was the justification for ordering a bunch of water meters. So we're going to want to look into that more. And we're gonna reach out to Emily and MRB and Bill to look into that. That's all I have. Highway and Parks.
Okay, as was mentioned, the mowing is running pretty busy here. Like to try to keep up with kind of like a little bit of a losing battle right there, but we keep looking at it. Other work that's been going on in the highway department is lawns and driveways over on Kennedy Farmington Town Line Road. Between Birchwood and Maplewood, all the driveways are in binder except for two, which we had a little bit of concern from residents that we adjusted to stone and whatnot. And I made a sweep over there and spoke with them this evening, and I believe we've got everybody happy now. The intent is to put binder on those two driveways on Tuesday. And then from there, we will be switching to the opposite side of the road, bringing the other side of the road down. The reason we're stopping on this side where we're at now, up by Stonehead, there's a pole there with fiber and communications on it that we're gonna have to wait for the communications folks to readjust that. So we'll start on the other side of the road, probably bring that all the way to Route 332 as we move down through there. Parks, same thing, real busy with their mowing, cleaning, just trying to keep up with everything. I also had a meeting with Nate and Joe Sabo. That sound right, Pete?
It is.
Joe Sabo on the street light construction at this junction. We have about 93 of our overhead Cobra headlights in. The initial count in the project, we were counting about 123 lights. However, in taking their master sheet and traveling around a little bit and doing some counting myself, I found that on several instances lights were double counted. One, for example, would be the corner of Hook and Allen Pageant. And one light there was counted as a Hook Road light, but it was also counted as an Allen Pageant light. So there were several of those involved. Timmy and I had an opportunity. We had a meeting with Joe in my office there earlier or late last week, and Timmy and I had an opportunity to get an initial look at what this is going to look like on the mapping, because over on the net, a lady called it when they had put the lights in. It worked for about 3 days, and one of the lights went out. So I brought that attention to Nate, and there on the computer in the office on his laptop, he went in, zoomed in on that specific light. These lights look like teardrops on a map, as how they're demonstrated, and they'll have like a red hash or something, which will tell you power is out, or it also tells you what kind of wattage and stuff they're using, if they're using. This particular light was out, but the power to the pole was good, so it was malfunction within the light. But there's going to be some in-house training with this when it's all said and done. But I got a quick peek at what this is going to look like when it's all said and done. I'm sure that it's gotten around, and our installers put 3 lights in Victor inadvertently. They will be correcting that issue. That said, when this is completed, we will be able to look at our map and see if for some reason any other areas might have gotten a light that shouldn't be there, because it will show up on the map where it is, and we'll get that correct. June 1st was the last time I heard that they were talking about possibly getting some of the decorative lights in. Again, like everything else, I think they're so far back and they're on back order. So we're waiting on that. That's
All right, Don, thanks. Town clerk.
Well, we've just been busy doing our everyday dog licensing, water, stuff like that. And I have a wedding to officiate tomorrow evening at 5:30. That's it.
Cool. Water and sewer.
I found out late today that we have a water leak on the corner of Pine Road 41 and New Michigan Road. And the boys will be in early tomorrow morning and call emergency stakeout in to fix it. It's not leaking terribly. And we've got a possible service leak over on Coral Drive. It should be about all fixed in there.
Where was that one?
Carl.
Carl. All right. Building and zoning.
All right, tonight's update is, we are busy as well. We're seeing a lot of increases, just not in new homes, but everything that goes with the house, the decks, the pools, the sheds. So we're staying very busy with that. New staff is all doing well. We're in the process of reviewing applications for the secretary position. I've been diligently working with the different boards to get them up to speed on Zoom, as we're doing tonight for your board. And we do have a couple resolutions on for tonight, but we can discuss them in the month. So I'm all good with that.
All right, thanks, Dan. We don't have anybody here from the planning board tonight. The chairman is also a member of the Board of Assessment Review, and they're meeting over to Hortensia Lodge tonight. Ron, Director of Planning and Development.
Yeah, our status report, which is made every 2 weeks for the town board, was posted today on the town website. Encourage everybody to visit that website to keep up with what's going on in the town. The court, as Nate mentioned, extended the response time to the 21st of June on the Delaware River Solar, and we are meeting tomorrow to look at the decommissioning plan with the attorneys. So that'll be coming hopefully within the next couple of months to this board for action. That's about it.
Thanks, Ron. Town engineer, he's excused, out of state this week, and the assessor is at the bar. Hortensia Lodge tonight. The Board of Assessment Review. And recreation, the only thing I wanted to mention there was we really got swamped with applications, and 2 of the parks filled up. Hortensia and Town Park here filled up right away. The other 2 are fairly full with plenty of time for people to sign up before they actually start some rec. So Mark is reaching out to more kids to try and employ for summer camp for staff, so that we would be able to increase the amount of kids for the recreation program this summer. And a lot of that is Victor is not doing a summer rec program, and so we've seen an increase not only in the Farmington kids, but the applications from Victor. Communications are on file. Reports and minutes are on file. Resolutions. Number 1 is a resolution authorizing the final release of funds. Release number 1, letter of credit issued by ESL Federal Credit Union for overall site improvements, tree and brush removal as part of phase 1A of the GLN Farmington Realty LLC project, and the total amount of $23,287.50.
Second.
Motion to second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Choose a resolution authorizing a partial release of funds. Number 4, for a letter of credit for utility site improvements, phase 1 of Hathaway's Corners and Son Zoning project, and a total amount of $513,775.33.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 3 is creating a 3rd constable position.
So moved.
Second.
Motion in a second. Again, we don't have 3 constables on a town court night, but we have 3 constables available to fill those slots when the other 2 cannot. So this is just a civil service requirement to add a 3rd position when we need it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Four is a resolution authorizing a pay increase of 25 cents per hour effective in payroll 13 for successful completion of the National Stormwater Inspector course for zoning officer John Wagner.
Second.
Motion and second. Comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Resolution 5, authorizing the town supervisor to purchase a dual outlet charging station for Beaver Creek Park at a cost not to exceed $12,816.50. So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. As Nate had mentioned, about 2/3 of the cost is reimbursable, $8,000. And it will be installed probably in the next 90 days. All in favor? Aye. 6 is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment to the highway fund to reflect the 2021-2022 state aid, including rollover balances for the consolidated local street and highway improvements funding, paid New York and winter recycling recovery.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. So not only did we get the 5% that they didn't give us back last year's budget, but the New York State increased the chips and the paid New York and the winter recovery for municipalities across New York State. So that's good news, and down actually be able to do a little bit more work this year or take less fund balance. So,
It's nice to get it. I didn't think we'd get the 5% back from last year.
I know.
You're gonna have to keep doing this. I think we would have been happy with just an increase for this year and not have that on stuff. We're not gonna get horse in the mouth.
Right, exactly, yeah. All in favor? Aye. 7 is a resolution to move funds for the water and sewer reserves. So,
Second.
again, this is a planned reserves. The CDs are due here in June. And we're putting money into the water equipment building reserve, sewer equipment building reserve, sewer line reserve, and the sewer capital reserve. All in favor? Aye. 8 is resolution authorizing a budget amendments for additional funding for overtime payroll in the water and sewer administrative accounts. So
Second.
motion is second, self-explanatory, moving $1,500. All in favor? Aye. 9 is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a consulting and oversight support contract with Camden Group.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Again, this is a 4-month contract that we can extend with Camden Group. They'll provide us a certified licensed grade 4 wastewater treatment plant chief operator as required by DEC. All in favor? Aye. 10 is a resolution authorizing signage changes at Redfield Drive.
So.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
11 is a resolution adopting the town of Farmington streetscape design, MSOD/MTOD, Route 96 Main Street corridor plan.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. We did get this last week as we had last meeting, so we had time to review it. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. 12 is a resolution authorizing acceptance of the intermunicipal agreement between the town of Canandaigua and the town of Farmington related to the provision of water. And this requires a roll call vote.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second.
Supervisor Amistad,
Aye.
Councilman Bauerman,
Aye.
Councilman Kennedy,
Aye.
Councilman Casale,
Aye.
Councilman Pulse.
Aye.
All right, this is the long-awaited
And signatures.
item. Pardon?
Signatures too.
Yes, and
Well,
signatures. It's long-awaited IMA. And then there's 2 sheets you gotta sign. Because originally the IMA was with Hopewell. We'll take a second to do that. Next one is the abstract of 10/20/21, pay the bills, general fund, $82,315.05, highway fund, $19,841.53, Beaver Creek Park, $191,914.68, Hortensia Water Line, $130,119.60, water tank repair, $32,292.11. Storm drainage, $2,335.06. Sewer district, $40,448.76. Water district, $17,588.65. Payroll deduction, $6,992.17.
Give it to Michelle.
For a total abstract of $523,847.61. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second. Any abstentions?
Yeah, from 792.
792.
That's the one I saw my name on.
2792
No.
or 7?
What's
Just
the
at
voucher?
792, that was the refund from last, that was a number.
792, okay. Okay, any other abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We do have an executive session. I don't have anything else for discussion. There's no training under $100. Is there any objections to doing the waiver of the rule before the executive session? Hearing none, the first waiver of the rule is resolution authorizing the town supervisor to take appropriate action to sign lawn mowing contracts and to apply lawn mowing charges to property within the town tax roll.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. So that includes 6061 Carmen's Way, 5664 Running Brook, 140 Delvin Court, vacant land, lot 1, corner of 332 and Farmbrook Drive, and Redford Drive, the lease property. All in favor? Aye. 2 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of a seasonal labor for the water and sewer department at a rate of $14 per hour effective May 25th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Nice young gentleman. He should fit in very nice in water and sewer. All in favor? Aye. Okay, is there anything else to be brought to this board before we go into executive session? Anybody online have any comments or questions? I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session. Commissioner Knight, second by me, 7:28. All in favor?
Hang on a second.
You have a question online.
Is that their hand up?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second.
That's what that means. I thought they were waiting on it. Is there something to click on there?
Yep. It's.
Oh, I don't know. I was just right. There's a chat one.
Okay, it's a long chat. Hold on.
Can you make it bigger?
That's what I'm wondering.
You read it, Nate, you're the closest.
Hi, Rod and Nadine DeRue. We'd like to know when town sewer is coming to our house, 5795 Farmington Town Line Road, Canandaigua. We know that about 500 feet to the west is town sewer. We were in talk with Dave DeGear 4 years ago, and he said, along with Jim, the Canandaigua Town Highway Supervisor, they said it was coming in 2 to 3 years. That time has passed. We'd like to know when our leach lines are failing and we are living on borrowed time. So we'd like to know when.
Okay, thank you for reading it. So I have gotten emails from Mr. Drew, so has the town of Canandaigua. Yeah, it's it's our sewer district, but it's in the town of Canandaigua. And he's not the only location. There's 3 other homes there that don't have sewer. And I'm going to go back 3-4 years ago when Dave DeGear was here. And the engineers, we had the same engineering firm as town of Canandaigua, just different engineers. But I remember 3-4 years ago that it's not an easy fix, just because of they couldn't figure out a way to do gravity sewer for all 4 locations. So I did put that back to the town of Canandaigua and said, hey, have your engineers look at it, and we can work with you on it. But you know, I don't have a quick or an easy answer for them. So I appreciate their comments there online. And I know Doug Finch, I was at the Canandaigua Town Hall today, and Doug Finch is on vacation till the middle of next week.
Do we have to unmute?
Can he unmute if he wants to respond? It might be easier than trying to type one out.
Or can they unmute themselves?
You got that ask.
They may not,
Maybe he just wants to come.
they may not have sound either.
They're unmuted.
Hi, Mr. Drew or Mrs. Drew, you're on the line?
Yes,
Hi, did you hear my comments?
I did. I like I said, Dave DeGear, I know has since retired, and with all this heavy rain we had a couple weeks ago, it was kind of iffy because 2 days of drain use is kind of, but anyhow, I get a hold of somebody. I finally got some type of answers here. I just would like to have it go through. I don't know.
Yeah, on the drainage issue, I did see the Canandaigua Town Manager ask Jim Fletcher, the highway superintendent in Canandaigua, is there something we can do on the drainage, the water problem you have?
Uh-huh.
And I tell you the truth, I don't remember if he responded because that was a few days ago.
I hadn't had any replies or response until just now when you responded to my message there.
Yeah, we're just lucky that we saw it, to tell you the truth, so.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, did they not read this yet? And it's just before the end there, you caught it, so yes.
Yeah. Again, I was at the Canandaigua Town Hall today, and Doug Finch is the town manager's on vacation. I'll ask Don Giroux, our highway superintendent, to reach out to Jim Fletcher on the drainage issue and just see if Jim's got an idea of how to fix that in your yard. And then both towns will have to reach out to the engineers on the sewer side.
Yeah, I understand that part. The thing is, it's not really a leach lines it is. I mean, I went to the town because I was gonna fix the leach lines myself, the repair, new lines, new rock and sand and all that. But then Chris Jensen, who's the town zoning over here, he put up a big hissy fit and said he would condemn my house and arrest me and all that, and that homeowners couldn't do that type of work. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll just live the way it is. And well, sooner the town sorts through here, the better it'll be.
Yeah, I do remember 3 or 4 years ago when it was discussed that there's.
Yeah, that's when there was in office.
Yeah, obviously sewer's got to be gravity, and if we're going to do one, we should do all 4 houses that have septic systems now. So
because everybody across the street in those townhouses, which is Stonehenge, they all got it. Stable Gate behind me, that big overpriced home track, they got it. The housing where you're putting sidewalks and all that in, they got it. And it's like this little stretch here, nothing.
Yeah, like I say, there's you and 3 other houses there that don't have
Right.
sewer.
Well, I just happy to finally get a response. That's all I was looking for, hopefully we can get something done.
Yep. Yep, we'll have the two highway superintendents talk about the drainage side of it, and then, when Doug Finch gets back from vacation, we'll engage the engineers on the sewer side for, all 4 properties.
Sounds sweet. That's awesome.
All right?
Thanks for answering my question.
Thanks for tuning in. You're our first on the Zoom here tonight.
I was going to Zoom no matter what, but yeah.
All right. Thanks and have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for catching that. All right, so I have
Purposely have the session.
We just have to.
purpose of, yeah, excuse me.
Saying you're going in.
So we gotta change the time? No.
One person second.
So it's medical, financial credit, or employment history of particular person or a corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. I have a vote now. All in favor? Aye. All right.